okay? Yep. To do a huge thank you to our sponsor, Anderson Windows. Check if that's renewals. Same guys, don't matter. So let's give them a round of applause. Yay, yay. So I would love to have the steering committee from 2019 and 20 please stand up.
Oh, I think she's talking about the first one.
I am talking about the first one.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. So these guys, so I had this little vision. I talked to a couple of people here, and it became reality with some of these folks in the room. So let's give them a round of applause and keep standing if you stuck with it. So let's bring up the current steering committee. Current steering committee. Let's give, yes, this year. Yay! Woohoo! And it's awesome, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal to be part of this leadership in the Valley. I look over, Lindsay was just showing me the Post-it notes from what you guys want to get out of it. And I'm looking at them all, and I think that the goal was achieved, even during a pandemic. Absolutely amazing. The last couple of months have been a little bit challenging when you've had 2 full days in person, back to back. So for our staff in the office, specifically Lindsay, it was like putting on 2 big conferences back to back, all while managing our gala. So she was a little busy in our office, so I would love to give Lindsay a round of applause. And thank you. Very, very well deserved. So leadership in the Valley was it's a program of the chamber, as you know, and it's very near and dear to my heart, and it's my baby in a sense. It's a legacy that I would personally like to leave and see go on and on and on. But then COVID hit, and I had no bandwidth to help. So I handed the baton to Lindsay and Jen Birch as co-chairs, and they continued along with the cohort of this year, who now I would like to all have you guys stand up. Because tonight is for you. Tonight is for you. And I hear you guys got kind of close, is that true? Just a little bit? Like a group text thing going on, mindful meetups all the time.
She knows the code.
Yeah, she knows the code. Thank you guys, and congratulations, and I'm so excited to see you graduate. I know that we're all very excited to be participants in it. So with all that, I'd like to, I do want to do a shout out to Todd Shields Catering. They're in there somewhere. But I think I have Todd convinced to go through the program next year. So yeah, woohoo! All right, Jen, take it away, my good friend.
Woohoo! Here we are. It's live graduation. So exciting. Do you guys remember when we were here on kickoff day? Cohort? Do you remember? It wasn't that long ago. It was September. Just take a minute to reflect about that, huh? Isn't that kind of crazy? I mean, there's just, it's easy to get speechless these days when we think about our year and our time together. And I'm just going to say one more shout out to Shields. The place even got a little bit fancier since we were here. Do you see? The lights on the walls, and Todd's very proud of the bridal suite upstairs, which is pretty sweet, I might say. No, I did. Do you like it? Ching, she's going to be in Vegas next week, everybody. Just kidding. Okay, so Robin already had all of you stand, but I just want you to look at that group for a little bit. Just because this steering committee, you know, you guys meet religiously month after month, and you bring your creativity to the table. and you bring your curiosity and you lean into difficult conversations when it's time to go, do we have a hybrid plan? Do we do this virtual? Do we do this live? Oh my gosh, we have to have plans for both. Can we really ask that of volunteers? And I would just say, like, the volunteer commitment this year was probably close to double because there was just a lot of things to talk about. Not to mention just other things happening in our world, like presidential elections and civil unrest right here in our home state that affected our whole world, that we processed and dealt with, and also led this leadership program, you know, and this cohort through. So there was I just really want to give a special round of applause to this group again. I'm going to have y'all stand up one more time. Oh yeah, just one more time. I want to see you all. Just stay standing. And I just really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I heard somebody recently say, you know, when I volunteer and lead something, I count on there being really talented, capable individuals. And I thought, you know, that's what we had. You guys made it easy to lead and facilitate a difficult year, a couple years, really. So, a couple other things we want to do here is just, we have had day sponsors that have financially supported Leadership in the Valley, and really some of these folks have sent participants to the program, and they've, in addition to that, financially supported it to make it possible. There's a lot that goes into it. Like, Lindsay is a heck of an employee at the Chamber of Commerce, and she does a lot of things. But one of them is oodles of details. And Robin already recognized her, but it's part and possible because we have a budget to pay really good, talented help. And we want that in our Chamber of Commerce because it helps us have sustainable programs like this. So I'm just going to take a minute and read these, and you guys can even see which day each person sponsored. So our welcome reception, Healing River Chiropractic. The kickoff was Shields Catering. The Community and Arts Day, Zephyr Theater. Government Day, XL Energy. Education Day, Century College. Public Safety and Law, Eckberg Lammers. Business and Economic Development was Washington County, CDA. Diversity Day was Dia Soren. Health and Wellness Day, Lakeview Hospital. Agriculture and Environment Day was XL Energy. And graduation is Anderson Windows. Thank you, community partners, for making this possible. We also have program partners that sponsor different pieces of the day. I'm just going to take a minute and read the list because it matters. And this might mean most to the cohort because they were in and out every single day, and they saw the treats that were sponsored by different people and the lunch that was sponsored by somebody. So Moxie Coaching, Edward Jones Financial, Cody Erheimer, Pathfinder Insurance, Tim Safe, Partnership Plans, Stillwater Area Schools, Mudita Wellness, the Bayport Legion, LiftBridge, who sponsored many happy hours, or mindful meetups. Linz, I got you. River Dogs Catering, Boutwell's Landing, River Market Community Co-op, Washington County Sheriff's Office, Stillwater Police, Stillwater Fire Department, Carrie's Create and Paint. Was that not fun? Mon Petit Chéri, The Daily Grind, Quick Trip, Joseph's, Panera, Water Street Inn. I just think it's important to take a minute and look at that list together. Actually, it's a personal pet peeve of mine if somebody reads words off of a slide. But because these are sponsors, I think it's important for us to acknowledge their commitment together. Whoops, I went ahead. So thanks for taking a minute with me to do that. So I'm going to introduce our community projects chair of this year, who just stepped up to the plate. This was not her original commitment, but when we had a gap in leadership, partially due to COVID issues, she just said, yep, I'll step in, because she's committed and she's just that kind of gal. So the gap filler, Lori Mueller, come on up here and tell us about these community projects.
The gap filler, that's great. I like that. I haven't had that one before. I'll share that at home tonight. Can you hear me? I'm a little taller than maybe people that were standing here before. So anyway, just want to say how proud I am of this cohort, because when we talk about community projects, I know we had a lot of obstacles to face. A couple of things. One, you were tasked to find something on your own, which was new and can be very difficult. So kind of working together with your groups when people have different opinions and thoughts and ideas to try to come together for one plan, that can be really challenging. And in addition, having the wonderful pandemic that we've been facing, so it was difficult to meet in person, not only with your groups, but with the partnerships and the nonprofits that you worked with. So I would say that one of the most significant leadership traits is perseverance. And that's what it took for this year when it came to community projects, right? So there's so much that you had to go through to get this all done, and you did. You worked together, and it was great to just see everything come together, and I'm excited to hear about all of the great things you did. So, without further ado, let's take a look. So these are the three nonprofits, 3 groups that we will be hearing about tonight. I'm excited. And we'll start off with Safe Haven. So let's have the group or individuals from Safe Haven Project come on up. Do you want to hold the clicker?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Hey everybody,
Loud or you go? Okay, here, maybe. There you go.
does this work? Okay. I'm Rachel Stile. I'm an English teacher and Pathways Coordinator at Stillwater Area High School. Up? Okay. And I just really quickly like to introduce our team. First of all, at the very beginning, they asked us to pick a name, so we are the Wolf Pack. We have a very, very... And we have a fabulous team. I'm just going to very quickly introduce our team here. We've got Jessica and Eric, Vianney, and Ashley. And our project just really quickly was to work with Safe Haven and help create a holiday experience for foster children in the community.
The goals of our project was to bring awareness to the needs of foster children within the county, also to Safe Haven Foster Shop in particular and the work that they do, and specifically create a Christmas program that would help the foster children feel at home for the holidays. Oftentimes they can feel lonely amidst their families, and just wanting to kind of give them our care and our thoughts as a community, and to bring that joy, and also for the county and Stillwater greater community to be involved in that as well.
So we chose this collaboration because, like Vianney just pointed out, it really enabled us to provide a unique experience for the foster children in the area. We collaborated with both Safe Haven Foster Shop because they provided a lot of resources, as well as telling us exactly how they could really be helped, as well as Washington County, which was a highly educational experience to find out just how much they could really use continual help, not just from random little groups who are like, we want to throw you a parade. So we brought this mentality to it of it takes a village. The Washington County and Safe Haven really take that very seriously. If anybody has ever been a foster parent, you know how seriously they take that. It does take a village to make sure that our future, these children, have a good upbringing. We decided to have a multifaceted approach to make this applicable during COVID. So we reached out to a lot of different organizations. We pooled our resources, basically, to make sure that this was possible. I think that enriched the project more than anything else, having a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different needs being met. And then as far as it allowed, we worked really hard in our collaborative mentality to allow each group member to be heard. And we really worked hard from that strengths approach to enable each other's strengths. There wasn't any, I truly believe there was no standout person in our group. I think all of us, our group is so awesome. I love our group. Because we really worked hard to support each other in our strengths and just be proud of that and just keep pushing forward. And I think that's why we were able to pull off what we did. Okay.
So it was really fantastic, as she mentioned. We pulled all this together. We're 3 weeks from the date. We're going to run this whole thing, an in-person event at the Zephyr Theater. And Walls says, no, you can't do this. So we had to transition the entire project to a virtual event through this process. We've got some videos that you can go visit on fosteringjoyinthevalley.org. We actually were able to put together a virtual event. We're actually able to have foster families reach out to us through our website and get on a schedule where we take around a whole train of cars and fire trucks in the cities from here to Lake Elmo to Oakdale to Woodbury and back. And we're able to bring gifts from a Santa. Your husband, a Santa. We pulled in everybody for this. And we're able to hand out gifts. We had some authors in the area sign books. There's a couple here if you want to grab them. Sean Jensen, Middle School Rules. He made a nice 3-minute video for them on the website that talked about how he didn't know his biological parents, how to persevere, and how to become better connected in your community to succeed. We also had a 30-minute video we did, and we had some students from the high school reading books for the kids. And we also had an actress pop in the middle of the video and say, Anna, Princess Anna, whatever it is. And this actor did this whole thing, so it was really wonderful. So we were able to kind of convert that thing from a real in-person event to a virtual one in 3 weeks. We were able to leave behind now a social media platform, a fully functional website and video platform for a safe haven foster shop.
And the Washington County.
Oh, yeah.
So Eric already covered a lot of this, but if you want to go back one slide, Rachel. So sorry. So again, like the point of our project was really to bring awareness and to bring an event to children who may not have that opportunity in another forum. So we wanted to showcase readings from Stillwater area high school students. So a lot of Rachel's students, a lot of the students from the National Honor Society were able to help us with that. We want to give them a website. This has to be a sustainable project. We want them to be able to use this in the future to drive this program again, and then also raise awareness through the social media campaign. Now,
Just a list of our collaborators: DS Oren, Middle School Rules, Women's Business Branch, Carrie's Paint and Create, Stillwater National Honor Society, and students.
and finally, we want to invite everyone in the cohort and on the steering committee and who's been in the program in the past to help us continue this program in 2021. We're hoping for a live event, and we're hoping you all will join us to make this an even bigger success in 2021 than it was virtually in 2020. So look us up. You have our phone numbers. We'll be reaching out to you.
Wow, Wolf Pack. Let's give another round of applause for the Wolf Pack. That was great. How cool. So we're going to do this again, and I can't wait to see. We're all going to be part of it. All right. Oh, what did you learn about leadership? I guess we skipped over that part. That's pretty important. So who's coming? Did you talk about that?
Well, what we learned about leadership, since I kind of passed about that very much, we recognized basically like we had to pivot really, really hard. When it came to that, what? Oh my God. Okay. We had to pivot really, really hard when it came to still we wanted the same result to happen in spite of the restrictions that were in place. That was, I think, the most important thing we learned for I would say that we really want to make sure the kids. You would not believe how cool it was to have these foster kids that would be screaming out of the house, like yelling for Santa. We had a kid holding up a sign for Santa, being able to hold up, give them gifts and all that stuff. So we want to make sure that happens. We also recognize probably one, we're already all told each other. What are we going to do about that? So we came up with a super cool routine and stuck with it. And then we, while respecting each other's strengths, we also made sure that there was no agenda from coming from anybody when it came to this project. It was very much what are the goals of this project? They're not related to any of our company's agendas. Nothing like that. This is about making sure the foster kids are happy. So
Yeah. That's great. I love that. Seriously, you're right. I mean, you start off, you don't know each other, right? And so and now look at you all. So that's incredible. Great. Awesome. Okay. So octopus in a box. Come on up? James, are you the sole speaker for this?
Apparently nobody's going to join me, but yes.
You got this.
So the only way I'm going to top that with Octopus in a Box here is by actually keeping my talk under 3 minutes. So our project team, sorry, that wasn't very Minnesotan of me. I'm not Minnesotan. James Olson, our team consisted of 5, slowly went down to 4, then went to 3. So we lost. Larry was a salary cap casualty in the middle. Bob Manning was our expansion draft fleeing person at the very beginning. And so it was left to me, Abby Whitman, and Gina Anderson to move the ball forward. Octopus in a Box kind of came out of a conversation with Tim and Lori, and Tim said, don't choose something that's an octopus in the box. And so we ended up with that name. We did not create T-shirts. Our organization was Family Means, and we were going to be building out a mentorship program for them, at least the framework for their youth development program with the, sorry, I'm spacing here, on the Cimarron and landfall communities in the manufactured home areas that they work with. They needed a youth mentorship program for ages 5 to 18. Initially, we thought it was, I'm going to move on. Initially, we thought it was like just 14 to 18. And then as we went, it sort of became like younger and younger. So our goal was to provide feedback on 2 business plans that they have for teaching skills of repairing bikes and selling bikes and making money, because part of what they wanted to do was have these students make money while they're learning skills. So we reviewed their business plan for the bike shop and then for a internet website development business plan. And then they also wanted to get a framework for a mentorship program, so we were helping them develop what that would look like. What we learned and how we grew, we really, I think, turned to our team strengths in that I'll highlight 3 of each. So the 3 that I would say I had to use was Woo in getting the team kind of together on a project at first, because we had lots of ideas and we had trouble picking one at the beginning. So I had to do some convincing on some people, and I had to connect, connection is another one of mine. So trying to connect a lot of dots in this program between my connections and what we're trying to build. And then adaptability, obviously we lost people and we had to shift constantly on what we were doing as the ball moved. And so those were 3 that I utilized. Gina, one of hers is input, and so very good at asking questions and kind of getting us, like, what do we need to know? Harmony is another, and so really bringing together the group and making sure we work well together and aren't stepping on each other's toes. And then Relator kind of feeds into that as well, just making sure we're all kind of connected and relating on the same page. And then Abby also had input. She kind of, she drove the let's receive all the data and make sure that we're getting the information we need to move forward. And then the other ones were context, so what's the past and where does it move us to the future? And then what's the final one? I am blanking on it. No, it's no, it's responsibility. She really took ownership when Larry and Bob left. She kind of ran with the ball. And do we have another one? Yes. So obstacles we faced, the team kind of reducing, choosing a nonprofit. We had lots of ideas and took a lot of time to find one. Clarity on the project, momentum, and reworking because we were constantly shifting. So we did actually provide a framework and we made connections for them. Our recommendations were actually that they don't build their own program, but that they partner with people like Bob and Annette and actually figure out programs that work around here and not build something from scratch. So I hope that was under 3 minutes. Maybe I lied. Sorry.
No, great job, seriously. talk about perseverance and working through some of these things. I mean, this group, and I love that you talked about the strengths. So on my team, obviously the community project team, Margaret and Tim and I, we each took a group. And so I can speak to my group because I was in a few meetings, but I could see all these strengths coming out in the meetings and what you talked about. So it's cool to see how you work through that and work together to bring this forward. I mean, there was the middle point. I think you're like, gosh, I don't know what we're going to do. We're not going to have anything because we just can't make up our mind. We can't get on the same path. But look now you did. And it's just working through that. So great work. Next, what do we have? Trades Hub. Who's coming up to speak? Come on.
That's all right.
People asked for some exceptions. You said yes. And you probably should have.
I sent a note out. Said everyone.
Yes, you did.
We rolled.
Add responsibility.
All right. So originally we were 3 chicks and a Bob. Right?
It was close.
We didn't know it was Bob, so originally the name was inappropriate. We started out with Sue on our team, and we got together and discussed what we thought would be a great idea. And we were blessed with Bob, actually, because Bob ended up kind of being the glue. Our project is an attempt to get the stigma away from children or teens or whatnot going into the trades versus a 4-year university. So our goal was to help parents and students understand and feel comfortable with choosing trade schools or alternative paths for their future. So that's a little bit about that.
Do I advance it? Okay. All right, let's just address the elephant in the room. I got kicked out of my first group, and they had to deal with me, so I feel a little awkward about that.
Kicked out might be the wrong word.
Yeah, so that was our first obstacle. She kind of explained this, but I will say that I think a lot of people know this, that the trades are not the thing that most parents are pushing their kids into, and it's really, it's needed, number one, and or they're needed, and it can really be the path to a very successful situation for anyone. And so we want to change the narrative on what success means for students who are sitting there in class and thinking that they're not good enough. We want them to feel like they're good enough for what fits them. And so this is one of the things that we're going to do to help that. So it's not just that we're doing this change in perception, but we're also attaching a mentor to them to help carry them through a program called the Trades Ambassador program that helps kids learn about trades, see if it fits them, and then attaches a mentor to them so that they can, pull them along and encourage them and provide insight and advice. So the obstacles, besides that they had to deal with me, are that we did have a little trouble trying to figure out how do we fit the mold of the project itself. And then our partner organization that we initially tried to get together with was Sundance Family Foundation. And long story short, we finally had a come to Jesus meeting, and she said, I'm not quite sure what you're asking for. She thought we were asking them for money, and we were trying to help them. And we didn't have the right idea of what they were doing. So we made it through those obstacles, and I feel like we made progress.
Yeah. And I think, in recap of kind of our conclusion to we didn't really start this with any goal in mind. It was kind of just laying the groundwork for this to be carried through, especially with Bob's work, with Trades Hub too. So I think with that being said, anybody, if they have any networking opportunities for some potential mentors for the students that Bob works with, I think that would be a really awesome opportunity to talk with us, to link them up with the student too.
So I think this was the most difficult part for all of us, to talk about leadership, which I guess should have been the easiest, but it wasn't. We did develop appreciation for all of the members and their strengths, and different styles of work that we all do. And I think that in the end, or at the end of the day, it worked out rather well. We fit into a lot of the holes that others, or weaknesses that others had. We learned about the importance of establishing relationships in a group, identifying strengths and weaknesses with each of them, and got some insight as to how much time and effort is required to bring to fruition any of the thoughts and ideas that you have in a community and with wide-ranging demographics and backgrounds and whatnot. So we definitely developed an appreciation for what is done out there now and the people that do it. So.
Thank you. Very good. That's so great. Just think of the impact you've made already on the community and the partnerships and all of the work that you put into it. So that's been fantastic to hear your stories. Thank you for your perseverance this year and having a project to present to all of us, because it was fun and lovely to hear about them. So here's a quote for you. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And that's what this is about, right? So, and that just speaks to the community projects and wrapping that up and doing things for others. So with that, I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to let you take a break and eat some dinner, this lovely dinner. So just let's take 15 minutes and just get through that, listen to some music. Maybe Lindsay will come up and sing for us, and then we'll be on our way. So thank you.
Okay, I hope you're enjoying your dinner, and you can keep on eating while you do this next activity. You thought you were going to get away without having any work tonight, right? Well, on your table in front of you, you'll see a little envelope. Looks kind of like this, about this size. There's a little note card in an envelope. This is a note to you. So I want you to take just a couple of minutes while you're finishing up your dinner and write a note to yourself that you're going to get from us in about 3 to 6 months. Maybe it'll be a year, which I think last year's cohort just got theirs about 2 weeks ago. Lindsay just found them in the office. Anyway, you're going to get this from yourself in about 6 months, and it'll be a reminder to you of something that you learned this past year that you really wanted to take forward, that you don't want to forget, something that really changed you, something that you want to do differently as you go forward. So this is your reminder to you 6 months from now of whatever that was that you really wanted to take out of this program and do differently, behave differently, treat people differently, hold yourself accountable in a new way, whatever it might be. So take a few minutes and write that note to yourself, and then on the envelope, write your home address, and then turn them back into us before you leave tonight. Okay?
So you're going to just go ahead and leave that note to your future self on the table. And I just want to take a minute and thank Margaret Smith, who instructed you in that awesome exercise. Margaret and Cody, I'm going to invite you to start your way on up here. Margaret and Cody are our kickoff and graduation chairs. And so they have been a part of the steering committee who have helped plan the event. Actually, it was the welcome reception and the graduation. So Thanks, Margaret. And I love this exercise. It was one of my favorites. At our table here, we were just talking. Annette and I were both graduates from last year's cohort and recently received the note to the future self. But the funny story is the chamber, we didn't put the return address on the envelope last year, but you'll notice it's there this year. So when I got this letter, I was like, oh my God, Benji, to my husband, this is my writing. And it's something I would totally say to somebody else, but I don't know where this is from. Like, I don't know what this is all about. And for days, I was so confused, wondering what the heck it was. And I didn't figure it out until we came here to plan this event. And we talked about the note to your future self. And I'm like, holy buckets, that's what that letter was. Because I was freaked out a little bit. So anyway, get that done. You're going to be happy you did. I might advise that you make a note on the bottom that says, note to future self, FYI, because it will make more sense when you get it, because you might forget by then. Okay, so Cody's got one of our exciting components of the night, and I'm going to hand it over to him.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello, Cody.
So, I get the pleasure of announcing one of our awards tonight, and it's the Mover and Shaker Award. Now, you're all probably movers and shakers in this group. We all are. We're all leaders in this group. But the person that got this award obviously demonstrates leadership, for one, illustrates the collaborative energy, and exhibits genuine preparation. And I have some facts that I came up with, so we'll see if you can guess who this is, or maybe you know who you are. This person shares 3 mutual friends with me on Facebook. And hasn't accepted my friend request yet. Shares the same name as the mayor of Cairns, Australia. They share a birthday with a sibling, and their spouse's nickname is Zap. Does anybody know who you are? And the winner is Bob Manning. Come on up, Bob, get your award, and say a few words. Now, was I right on the Zap part? Holy cow. I don't know. I'll tell you later. Okay. There you are.
Thank you.
Say a few words.
Okay. Thank you. I remember seeing Kelly's video, and I wasn't quite sure what the Mover and Shaker Award was then, and I'm not really sure what it is today. But I am floored that you know my wife's nickname. So it's Zapina the Great, or Zap.
I didn't know the big.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know really what this is for, but I would say I thoroughly enjoyed this, and at the very beginning, Annette, thank you for suggesting this. And for me, and I think for Rachel too, it was really, it was a significant event for me personally and professionally. I learned so much about this area. I got to meet great people, and so thank you. And that's all I have to say. Yeah.
it was a very close race with this group for Mover and Shaker, just so y'all know. It's like everybody got a vote, no matter, So it's like who was going to win? Oh, who got 2 votes or who got 3 votes? So it was very close. So obviously you guys got a little close and enjoy each other's company. So with that, I'm going to bring up Jen, Lindsay, and Robin for a cohort recognition.
Thanks, Cody. All right. Cody did a fabulous job. And how about just let's do a power clap for all of the mover and shakers with Bob as the leader because A, we like power claps, and B, literally, it was a really close mover and shaker. Count us down, Jessica.
3, 2, 1.
Woo! That's how we do a power clap here. Okay.
All right, you guys, it's that time of the evening. It's all about you, cohort recognition. So Jen and I and Robin, we're going to read off your names. We just ask that when your name is called, you come down along the wall here. Robin will hand you your plaque. Jen will hand you your certificate, and Travis will snap a very chic picture of you. Then you can head back to your seat. So let's get started. Our first graduate this evening, Miss Gina Anderson, Smart Start Childcare and Learning Center. Congratulations, Gina. Woohoo! Yes. Congratulations, Gina. Yeah, head back to your seat. Our next graduate, Eric Hoffman. Data Stream Connections. Congratulations, Eric. Woohoo! Fantastic. Congratulations. Miss Jessica Johnson, EXP Realty. Congratulations. Woohoo!
Here, put me in front of two skinny girls.
You all look beautiful. Yes. Our next graduate, Bob Manning, can you please come back to the front? Stillwater Area Public Schools. Congratulations, Bob. All right. Vianney Nigel with St. Michael's Church. Come on down. Congratulations, Vianney. Woohoo. James Olson. Congratulations. JTO Legal. Congratulations, James. Miss Ashley Rohde with DS Soren. Congratulations, Ashley. Hug it out. Congrats, Ashley. Miss Rachel Style, come on down. Stillwater Area Public Schools.
Congrats, Rachel. Yeah. The one and only Jessica Fines. The Zephyr Theater. Congratulations, Jessica. Christina. Undercoffer? Yeah. I'm sorry, Christina. Christina Undercoffer, Lift Bridge Brewery. Everybody is Jen's neighbor. I've learned that. Missing one. Last, but certainly not least, Abby Jo Whitman. How weird. I wonder if it's... Abby! Congratulations, Abby. You're not officially graduated yet. We had to talk about some credits missing, I think. No, I'm just teasing. We'll get their certificate. So graduating class of 2021, please stand up and be recognized. Woo-hoo! Before I hand it over to Jen, just so you guys know, cohort, just hang out for a little bit after the program. We want to get a group picture with everybody tonight. Right over here. I'm going to hand it back over to your program chair.
Okay. Wow. I got to admit, it's a little surreal. Watching all of your faces walk up. And I'm just thinking back to that day at the Water Street Inn when we had the welcome reception, when we were all new faces to each other, and it felt a little strange because I felt like it was felt a little naughty to be out with all the restrictions, right? I was like, oh my God, can we be here? We're going to try this. We're going to do it. And but it was so fun meeting you all. Look at y'all up there. Isn't that a fun memory, you guys? When I think about what's next for you all, there's some ideas that the steering committee that I've had the pleasure to be a part of for the last 2.5 years or so, we've come up with. And we have some really exciting things on the docket. And you also have some ideas about what your vision for the future was like. But we're just going to chat about that for a second. So one of the things we're really excited about is the Alumni Alliance for Leadership in the Valley. The Chamber is committed this year to having some type of alumni event with the first cohort and the second cohort as the alumni. And we will hopefully be able to invite you on back for the welcome reception. I mean, the idea is that this is really a great networking opportunity for people as we invite people in. I mean, guys, I just want you to think for a minute. Class, like the 20th, you're the second class of Leadership in the Valley. Yes, Miss Responsibility, yes. I literally just want you to think for a minute, though, okay? I want you to think about 18 years from now. That's going to be what? That's going to be like 2029? 2029, am I right, James? 2030? 2039? Thank you. 2039, I'm not kidding. The 20th class of Leadership in the Valley is coming. What are they going to experience? I mean, let's just, like the things that are happening today, it's all part of the foundation. It's all part of the legacy. People are going to be talking about the people they've met and the things they've done. and the mayors that we will have and the leaders that we will have and the connections we'll make. I mean, that's what you're a part of. You're a part of a rich history that will always be here. I don't see this going away. I know a couple of the steering committee members from the inaugural year, Tom McCarty and myself, Jeff Labs, we all had been a part of leadership in the Valley, or leadership classes in other communities, excuse me. And I know my class was like the 45th class in Duluth when I graduated Leadership Duluth years ago. So I just want you guys to imagine what that class is going to feel like. That, 2025 and the 2030 and the 2040 and what it's going to be like. And will you have a role in that? Maybe. These are some of the things that might be next for you. You all talked about some of this. Maybe you'll run for office. Maybe you're going to be the chairman of a board of a nonprofit in our community. Maybe you're going to help fund a scholarship opportunity for this organization. I'm just saying we have big dreams and ideas of what can be and what's next. And you're going to be a part of that. When I was reflecting earlier tonight, I looked at some of the Post-it notes that we had. Do you all remember when we did this? We wrote down what we were dreaming could be part of, like what we expected to get out of this. Do you remember? It was right here in this room and they kept falling down. Forced discomfort. That was one of them. All right, they're all figuring out whose writing is that. Giving back. That was another thing you thought about. Government. Community engagement. Build relationships in the community. These were all things. These are all things that are important to you that you wanted to get out of this experience. Government. Community engagement, a little bit of discomfort. But I got to tell you, it's been pretty fun to watch the transformation of some of you that sat there and said, what? Those people really made a video and let you play it today to tell us about what's coming? My God, that would be so hard for me to do. And you just might be doing that this next year. Some of you, you might be taking those risks. You might be doing some of those things. You will be. I'm so excited to bump into you in the community and say that I know you. And to tell people why I know you and how I know you. And I'm so excited to carry this tradition. And what I'm really pumped for is the people who get to carry this tradition forward. How's that for smooth, huh? I mean, nailed it. Just saying. Come on up, Nathan and Lori. I'm so excited. And I'm a huge fan of this in leadership. You've got to develop new leaders. You've got to backfill your positions. You've got to look at the talent that is there and invite them up to the next level. And you know what they're going to say? I'm not ready. They're going to say, no, I'm scared. But that's okay. I was scared. I'm not always ready. I don't always feel ready. We're not always going to feel ready. And you guys might be like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? We are so pumped for a full year of in-person Leadership in the Valley with you two at the helm. So I just want to introduce for the official time your chair of the steering committee for next year, Lori Mueller, Director of HR of North America of Dia Soren, who's going to lead you. And here's what I love about Lori. I just wrote down 3 words because you guys know I'm big on words and sharing them with humans. We've done that a time or two. Lori's positive. She has this contagious charisma that you can't help but just be like pulled towards. And she's got a willing heart. When we had trouble, she would just step up and go, I can help. with a big smile and dimples on her face. You gotta love that, right? And then Nathan, oh my gosh, I love this guy too. He is so thoughtful and he's curious. And he brings this like ravenous curiosity to the table. And he'll lay down a question like, oh, that's a good question. And he's wise. So you're in good hands. We are in good hands. I'm going to still be here. I'm going to be participating as the past chair. That's a new role we're going to have because we want to keep training and cultivating and bringing on new people to help this thing go forward. So help me with a power clap. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Jen. Say such great things. No, really, I'm so honored to be part of this. I love this program. I think I may have shared this, but I'm not really a sappy person. My husband's the sappy one in the family, and we tease him. But I only like tear up about my kids. But I'll tell you that every single day that I went through this cohort last year, like every single day, I teared up. And that's like saying something for me because I'm just not that person. It's so incredible. The things that I learned, the people I met. We have such an incredible community. Love Stillwater. This is just beautiful. And what a great program to be part of. And I just, like Jen said, I'm hoping to like be around to see the 20th graduating class of this program. And yeah, I'm just thankful. And thanks to all of you. And I hope to partner with you in the future with all of this.
Well, I'm actually really curious what you were going to say about me. I was actually sort of scared, but I think I'll make it through. When I walked into this room tonight, I looked around and I've heard it all night. You ever heard of that reacher in a relationship? Like there's always someone that's reaching a bit. Like I feel like a reacher in this room. You guys are awesome, and I would say the cohort is probably better than the first cohort, and I was in the first cohort. And the reason it is we're getting better and better and better at this. So when I look ahead to 2021 and 2022, and God help me if I'm in this role in 2039, so someone back me out the door. But I hope I am, because it'll be that much richer, and you all will be doing that much more as leaders in the Valley. And we're in good hands. When I heard what you guys all did tonight, your projects were awesome. We could stand up here for hours, but I think you had 3 minutes. You timing me? So we're good. I do want to, do you have the clicker? I just did it. Oh my God, there it is. So one of the things about leadership is it's infectious. And I think infectious is another name for convincing. But anyway, good leaders attract good leaders. So when we looked at our steering committee for 2021 and 2022, we reached out to the community, we reached out, and people reached out to us. And we had such an overwhelming response for 21, 22, that we literally had to go through and select who was going to be on the steering committee for the next year. So this is who you have. Lori is a fantastic leader, and I agreed to do this because she's here. But this is the team that's going to support the class of the cohort of 2021 and 2022. So for those of you in the room on this steering committee, please stand up. So one thing I do want to come back to what Jen said earlier. There's going to be opportunity in what's next for the cohort. There's going to be a lot of opportunity in the coming years, and God willing, we'll be back to somewhat of what we used to call normal. There's going to be opportunity to step out, get uncomfortable, and continue to exercise your leadership skills. So be prepared to step into situations. I think you guys learned flexibility and adaptability this year, and that's certainly going to be the case in the future, and we look forward to working with all of you in some capacity. So with that, thank you.
Something something better for myself.
I was starting
So congratulations again. It's just been awesome to see how close you've all become. I've heard about these text strings. I wasn't on, but I've heard. And you guys are all just buddies and hanging out and watching you come in swarms tonight. It wasn't like trickling in one by one. You guys came as a group, really. And to see the transition from the first day when it was awkward and uncomfortable to now, it's just so cool. So I hope you guys maintain this group and your mindful meetups and all the good things you guys have done. So that's so fun. What we'd like to do is close it out. What I think we think about, like, what's next. So Jen was talking about that. What's next? What did you take away from this? What do you hope to do? So if we could stand up, all the cohort learners, if you could stand up, and we will start off with Jessica Tynes, and what we'll do is, why don't you talk about what you hope to take forward from this? Like, what do you hope to do now in the future? And I don't know if you'll be able to talk really loud because I'm not going to carry this microphone around, I guess. And then you call on the next person, sit down when you're done talking. I'm not going to talk loud.
Two things I want to take away to help keep serving the community through the arts. I want to take away the better understanding I have of our community and how it operates, so I can apply it to how we can better serve it through the arts endeavor. And these relationships, like, seriously, day one I was like, oh, like, everybody's very different, this is gonna be weird, but it turns out everybody's so freaking awesome. So, and especially in their differences, I think everybody is so different, and I think that's what made it so awesome.
Power grab, 1, 2, 3. And pick someone, Jess.
James. She said James, so. Like Jessica, I think, one of the main things is the friendships from this program. I too had sort of this weird, like, I don't know that I want to be in this after the first day, and then, it quickly transitions. So that's the main thing. And the second thing is, I do look forward to the opportunities of growing in leadership positions and sort of getting to know the community even deeper and in better ways than I already have. I'm a transplant in the Valley, so I don't have the roots that many do, and so it's been very good for me to start developing those roots in a different way outside my typical circles. So we're going to go with Rachel next.
1, 2, 3.
One of the things I'll take away is just learning about myself, my strengths. Always remember Jen saying, turn up the volume, turn down the volume. It's not like you're not good at something, you might just be better at other things, so that was really powerful. To echo both of you, the relationships, I think those first couple times, it was just like, who are you, and is this gonna work? And I felt really blessed to have my small group. We gelled really well. We did some really meaningful work, service work in our community, and so I feel really proud of that. And just an opportunity to meet so many people and learn so much, especially in our role at the high school. I think you can really hopefully do some great things partnering together, not just in this group, but with our kids. So I'm really excited about that too.
Who's next?
Oh gosh, Christina. 1, 2, 3.
I'm really excited to use the relationships we built here to kind of network past leadership in the Valley and continue to grow those. And then I think I really want to encourage people to take it too, especially at Bridge or colleagues my age too, to take this and network also.
Yes. Applications are open until
July 15th?
July 15th.
Bob.
1, 2, 3.
I hate to say I echo what they all said, but one thing that really struck me again, happens every once in a while, is just that how good people are, even though you don't think that you're going to connect. But there's really good people all around us, and I think this is the type of thing that makes you kind of acknowledge that and realize that. So I'm recommending this to anyone. It also helped connect me to a community that I've lived in for 20 years. So I hope to continue being more committed to serving other people, because it makes me feel connected even more. So, Eric?
1, 2, 3.
when I started the first time I mentioned, I spent a lot of time traveling and do things outside of Stillwater. And one of the goals I had was to try to learn about what I can do in this own community here. And I've done other leadership programs like this, and I have to tell you that this is one of the tightest and most phenomenal groups I've ever been a part of. It's a small, tight group. We've all got to know each other and been open with each other, and that's just not common. You know, these 40, 50 type people, it's just not that. And what I'm trying to figure out is how do we enrich the fabric of Stillwater through these programs, and what can we do as a team? And I see a whole group of people here that can work together even in the future through it, so I'm very excited for that, and I appreciate every one of you, this entire cohort.
1, 2, 3.
I guess I couldn't avoid it forever.
I know, you were like, please tell me.
Yeah, how do I avoid eye contact? So that's one of the things I'm hoping to take away, I guess, is just stop avoiding eye contact. No, I'm just teasing. Most of the wonderful things that I'm taking from here, I actually am practicing at home. Being a mother of 4, I have come to accept that my role currently is being a parent. But I also really enjoy all of the people that we met throughout the community in different business areas and whatnot. And one of the strengths that has been on fire this entire time is connectivity. And all I see when I come to any of these meetings is lines connecting rapidly from one to the other and ideas. And despite having so many different paradigms and opinions, a light really has been shined on how we all have a commonality, and that's that we want the best for everyone around us. And that's one of my life's beliefs, is that if we're all strong individually, then we're stronger together. So it makes it really exciting. Enjoy being with you guys, and I just realized you guys, in some respect, I really maybe. I think that we'll still probably be with each other at a minimum, a personal level, but I do miss that there's forced discomfort, which I really, really liked about this, but there's not going to be anyone forcing us into these uncomfortable positions any longer, which is what I'm going to miss the most.
Good job.
Good job.
So I love community, and I am really excited to serve on the steering committee with some of you. And if those of you aren't on the steering committee, I will to solicit you to help. I think that this is a great program for just overall the whole valley and everything. And then I can't echo this enough. I can't remember how many we started out with. We lost a lot of people this year, right? I mean, a good ratio-wise, we lost quite a number of people this year.
We started with 13, I think.
Oh, well, you know, not only 4. We're really, I don't know, like, you guys are pretty cool people. I mean, you're all really weird, but I like you all, and I'm so glad, and I never would have met you. I really don't believe I would have met many of you, and I think that's one really fortunate thing that I know that part. And then we've been poked a little about our monthly mindful meetups that we're going to continue. I'm looking forward to that because I think that that's going to continue something. Those 20 years, whoever was talking about it earlier, they're really something. So I'm excited for that. Ashley, you're standing right here, so go ahead.
1, 2, 3. So I guess I have to echo what everyone said about relationships. I am from the Valley, and it only took BSR in like 3 applications to hire me. Come on, Lori. One point time. Well, I've applied there 3 times to be able to come back. It's been years. I've been at BSR for 8 years now, so it wasn't Lori's tenure. Doing her thing. But no, I came into this program and like I really had high hopes of like connecting with my community. But in addition to connecting with my community again, I really felt like I made true friends. And like making friends is hard as an adult.
Yeah.
Does anybody know that?
It does.
It's tough. Like when you're a kid, it's different, but when you're an adult and you're trying to make friends and like connect with people, it's very different. So that's one thing I'm gonna take with me is definitely those personal connections as well as like connection back to the community. And also I kind of learned through this program that it's okay to give yourself some grace and also your peers. That's a good one. 3,
two.
Oh, yeah.
I was late on that. My common theme has been strengths and overuse of strengths. I got really caught up on that for a year, and I'm still there. But vulnerability is really big. Friendships, community, giving back. So those are the things I'm focusing on right now. Yanni.
3, 2, 1.
I'm very thankful and humbled by all of you and everyone I've met through this program. It's been such a blessing just to see how tight-knit this community is. I realized how much and how little I know and how much I have yet to learn. So I'm very excited for the future, that just all the different things that have come up. I think there wasn't a day where that's something that struck me that I had to think about and wanted to share immediately with the people close to me. And that's what I'm really excited about, is continuing to share those experiences and not stopping to talk about how awesome our community is and how good the people are in our community. So thank you all.
3, 2, 1. And congratulations to Gianni on your upcoming nuptials.
So, wow, you guys are awesome. Seriously, all so different, but all together in this cohort, just incredible. I love hearing from each one of you. Thank you for sharing personally how this program has impacted you and what you plan to do with it in the future. I'm super excited to see all of your faces as part of this as we go forward. So, with that, again, congratulations to this second class of Leadership in the Valley for Stillwater.